logically. Timothy McVeigh is supposed to have been about to blow away 168 people. And he asks for directions to the Murrah building a few minutes before. After he's supposed to have blown away 168 people, he's stopped by a cop on the freeway for a traffic offense. He has a gun. And he goes quietly to the police station. Come on. And if you look at what some of the other background to the stuff that I've been researching and been writing about, there is a guy who comes up in mind control research, turning people into human robots. And
right, I've heard about that.
And that's a guy at the University of California called Louis Jolyon West. Louis Jolyon West goes right back into the 60s as a mind controller for the CIA. He was involved in the Jonestown situation, which was a CIA mind control experiment.
Totally mind control.
Sure. Now, when Patty Hearst came out of the Symbionese Liberation Army, who gave her a mental examination? Whatever that's symbolic for. Louis Jolyon West. And who gave a mental examination to Timothy McVeigh when he went into captivity?
Let me guess.
Louis Jolyon West. And we had this farce of a trial, which must have been the shortest defense case in legal history for someone facing the death penalty. And then you look at what some of the parents who lost children in Oklahoma did.
Right.
They
very sad.
Didn't buy the official line, and they've established that the official version of events, which was that McVeigh and his right-wing extremists wanted to make a protest on April the 19th, 1995, against WACO, which happened on April the 19th, 1993,
right,
because the people responsible for WACO, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco and Firearms, had an office in the Murrah building, and that was supposed to be the reason for the bomb. Well, these parents have established that when the bomb went off, not one member of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco and Firearms was in the building, not one of their children was in the nursery, but they were in full combat gear around the building an hour before the bomb went off. Now, this is what we're not being told, and it's a massive problem reaction solution by some very, very sick people who we've given control of this earth to.
The people reacting to events they see on television is that there's no research done behind that.
Exactly.
And so people are reacting, and that gives the government the opportunity to say, we're going to handle your problem.
Exactly.
Let's make more laws that take away more freedoms.
Precisely how it works.
But I don't think people understand that their freedoms are being taken away.
Well, they need to understand they're demanding that they be taken away, which is, I'm sure there's people on Mars looking down going, oh my goodness me.
And I want to touch on that when we come back from this important message, so don't go away, folks. Stay with us. Hi, welcome back to the Rose Colombo Show and the issues of the day. We're talking to David Icke, author and researcher. We're touching on the Oklahoma bombing, and right now I want to talk to David about WACO. David, going from the Oklahoma bombing into the WACO situation, what do you know about that?
No, if you really looked at the situation deeply, you can make a very good case for the fact that tax is not necessary. If you look at the amount of money that taxation is going to every year just to pay back interest on the deficit,
be paid back.
Right? It's fantastic the amount of money that's going straight out of people's pockets, straight to the. You've seen a video called WACO: The Big Lie, in which footage that wasn't shown on television is shown.
I did see it.
And they have these tanks actually flamethrowing into the building to start the massacre. But they say that it was to save the children because of child abuse.
How can you save the children if you're burning up the children?
Exactly. And as someone said to me, if they're so determined to stop children from being abused, then why aren't Bradley tanks flamethrowing into Catholic churches,
I mean, what's the ultimate abuse?
Yeah, and also the research that I've been involved in, particularly in the last year, I've actually named in my book some very, very famous people right at the top there who are, and have been for decades, sexually abusing mind-controlled children as young as 2 and 3. And we're talking big, big names here in America, and I've come across exactly the same in Britain, and the people there are naming the big names of Britain, because the top of the pyramid is just a cesspit, basically, and because the people right at the top there control the appointments into positions of power, like presidents and prime ministers, etc., and these other economic big positions. They're putting their same mentality into those positions of power.
Right.
So at the top of the pyramid, the ratio of what you might call satanic child ritual abusers and etc. is far, far greater than it is in the general population.
Well, actually, than it's being exposed, because
Absolutely.
you don't see those stories in the media of satanic rituals, and if they are, they are suddenly quashed anyway.
Well, it's absolutely, the thing that stunned me, Rose, to be honest, is not that it's happening, nothing surprises me, but the scale of it and how rampant it is,
Yes,
and the names involved, you know, and a lot of it goes... A lot of it goes on at Bohemian Grove in Northern California, among the redwood trees, where the elite from all over the world are flown in every July for a camp when horrific child abuse and what have you goes on. And they all dress up in their ritual bloody costumes, and it really is stunning to see who actually runs the world.
Well, it would be rather shocking to most people.
I would also say about WACO, and I talk about this in my book, and the truth shall set you free, there is a campaign to discredit the word cult. To discredit the word cult by setting up things. I mean, actually, one of the things I do in the book, I have a chapter called Cult or Con, and I predicted at the end of that to expect more mass suicides by cults. And of course, we've had the Heaven's Gate down in San Diego. And the idea is to discredit the word cult, so it immediately reflex reaction in the public mind is dangerous nutters, something must be done.
Well, it's like the word militia.
Yeah, and then you, exactly.
Or patriot.
Yeah, and then you applying this word, once discredited, to anything you want to discredit. And there's an organization called CAN, which is the Cult Awareness Network, which is used to, first of all, discredit the word cult, and then start applying it to alternative healing and all this stuff. Guess who's at the heart of that? Lewis, Jolly and West. What a surprise. And the False Memory Syndrome Foundation, which has been set up to discredit mind-controlled people who are remembering now what happened, because they screen their minds from it. On its advisory board is Lewis, Jolly and West.
He's everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, the only person who's more everywhere is Henry Kissinger, who is a major player in this. I know people who are being forced through threats to their families and other means to use their abilities to further this agenda. And they've been called to the White House for meetings with the president, whether it's Bush or Reagan or whatever. This is, what, 10 years and more, up to the present day with Clinton, after Henry Kissinger was supposed to have been in government as National Security Advisor and Secretary of State to Nixon. And when they've gone in the Oval Office, who do they meet? The president and Henry Kissinger to this day. And Kissinger is calling the shots, not the president. People need to know this.
That is